Swiggity swordie, let's get that booty.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Slim Cogcast. It is I, Slim Cognito, on this Monday morning, and I just want to let y'all know that we've been doing quite a bit this week. And to kick it off with what I've been playing, it's been a very amazing week, by the way. I would like some recommendations on some of these easy endeavors that's been going around, because I've been looking for assets and eliminating liabilities. And I want to know, I hate the fact that I couldn't get in on that Logan Paul Mayweather fight, because I'm not a gambling man, but I could see an obvious win when I see one. And that could have been in a small, 200 or something, you know what I mean? Anywho, on to the topics. What I've been playing this week, man. Alright, so this week I've been putting a little work more into Ghost Runner and Vampire the Masquerade, which I am eager to get back into. But I just haven't had the energy to just jump right on in, and I've only been able to just, when you sit down and you just feel like playing something, sometimes you just want to hop into a competitive game and play some matches, And we've been doing some Knockout City, going crazy. If you missed the stream, you need to go catch that, because I was undefeated in the new free-for-all mode. Bro, I really cannot be fucked with in that game. I don't mean to brag, but to humbly say, I am smacking people with these dodgeballs, you understand me? But let's get on into it and just let you know that I also went ahead and watched me some Jujutsu Kaisen, and I finished the season. And boy, I say it's a 9 out of 10, maybe 8.5, because although everything was perfect, music was great, the characters are great, good action, great animation, CG work was so good that you could hardly tell it sometimes, and that's very good work. And you can tell Mappa learned a lot from working with Attack on Titan's animation. So I really like to see what they've done in the achievements. Also, the only gripes that I have is that once you got to like the last few episodes, a lot of stuff felt like squished together and rushed. Especially the moments where they had to like fight one another. The classic moment of all the students coming together to fight in a tournament, and then the tournament gets interrupted by a big bad villain guy. You're supposed to let that play out, and I feel like it just, I don't know, it could be a negative thing in that it felt rushed, but at the same time you could look at it optimistically and say that they didn't waste so much time and then make you wait every week for another episode just to see another bit of the tournament, which is something that was kind of frustrating for My Hero Academia lately. But and I gotta be honest about that episode as well. The latest episode of My Hero Academia was kind of like flaccid. Like, I enjoyed the fact that they were showing that he's got new powers with the One for All, but I had more fun watching Bakugo operate, and I wanted to see Deku show something that was, interesting and hype. You know what I mean? And this is interesting, but he was in Deku. He in Bakugo's shadow right now. I'm just saying. Maybe not in terms of raw power, but in terms of a character, he's in his shadow for sure. So, and as the type of fan I am, I love my media to show character growth. I love to see character growth and character struggle. And seeing Bakugo's growth is a breath of fresh air. It's making me super happy, and I love it. And at the same grip, it's making me realize just how little Deku's changed a lot, but not that much. He just cries less, you know what I mean? And he's dedicated, he works a little harder. But man, I don't see him, having the same type of, it's not the same gravitas of Bakugo's redemption, and it's just hard to say. So moving from there though, I'm still enjoying it, and I hope to see some more that's going to be real good for the rest of the season. Hopefully they got something in store for us. Now, the thing I wanted to say about my impressions thus far with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline, that game is dark. And just to prove it, I'm going to put a little clip at the end of this video for those who are watching the YouTube version. I'm sorry for the Spotify listeners, but I'm going to put a little clip at the end of some dialogue between an NPC and the character that I was playing. And I'll just let you draw your own conclusion, but I'm just going to say that game is pretty damn dark, and it goes there repeatedly. And for the Spotify listeners, I'll just go ahead and give you an example. there is a mission where you had to investigate people because you are a part of a vampire society, and there are people going around spreading a blood disease, and this blood disease was being used as a weapon in order to eradicate the vampires and the humans and get rid of certain existing people in order to cause a new world order. And they made a whole cult around it, but the biggest issue was you had to track down those who were spreading the blood virus, and the blood virus was being spread in many different ways, but one of the ways was from a sex worker of sorts. And you found out through a woman who was human, and she was infected with the blood virus. And the thing is, the vampire that gave her that virus did not bite her, and the only way that this is transmitted is either by blood transfusion or ingestion of another person's blood. I will let you all draw your own conclusions with the information I've given you thus far. And we're going to jump on from this part and segment of the podcast and get into the news. So, first thing on the docket to discuss, Sony Studio boss says not to expect future PS5 exclusive to hit the PC at launch over on PCGamer.com. Basically, they saw the numbers for Days Gone and Horizon Zero Dawn doing good on PC. So they're planning on porting more in-house first-party games from Sony over to the PC, which is good for us. But also, they made sure to note that your best way to experience these games will be on the PlayStation console, which is letting us know that it's going to be timed exclusive for maybe months to years before it comes to PC. So do with that information as you will, but that's what I surmise from it. And it would be smart for them to do that, to be honest. I mean, wouldn't it be dumb to make first party games and then risk your first party games to just be, lost with revenue loss from the cut to Steam and other platforms, and having all these other development issues, making sure that it runs for the PC platform. Like, this is a lot when you could just spend the money to develop the game in-house first party and then make sure it runs well on your hardware. That's just protecting assets right there, and it's plain and simple. That's pretty smart. But it would be nice if they would go ahead and port some of those other classics from PS4 and PS3 on over. They have announced, I think we talked about it last week, that Uncharted 4 was coming to PC, and it would be nice if they would go ahead and give us Bloodborne so I can play it in 60 frames per second, and I'm not gonna shut up about it until we get it. But it's good to see that Horizon Zero Dawn did so well, and the sequel will be coming on top of that. Which, by the way, before I move to the next docket, there's also a little side note that it was announced that the God of War Ragnarok has been delayed to 2022, but it's also been confirmed to release on the PS4 and the PS5. So that tells me that they've been working on this ever since maybe months after, right after the release of the 2018 God of War. So it looks like it should be in its later stages of development, almost done, and ready to go. And they're just polishing things up and making sure that everything's, how it should be. And since it will be on PS4 and PS5, there's no reason to expect a huge graphical update. There really is no need for a huge graphical update, to be honest with you, because the game was already beautiful on the PS4. It looked very good, very crisp, great graphical detail. And there were no loading times aside from in between deaths and the initial boot of the game. So it was a seamless experience from the first scene to the last with no cuts. And that was what they set out to achieve, and they achieved it with high marks. So yeah, respect to that. Anyway, another article over on PCGamer.com. CD Projekt Red has announced that, well, the boss of CD Projekt Red said that Cyberpunk 2077 will live up to what we promised. To surmise, basically what he's saying in this article is that they are still working around the clock to have teams that are rotating and changing in order to keep up with the expectations of AAA game development, and not only for their current product Cyberpunk 2077, but also future products that they plan to release. So yeah, CD Projekt is still in there and they're doing their thing. And this is one of those rare occurrences where I win by being patient and playing the game. I still haven't been spoiled. I still don't know what exactly goes on in the entire plot, so I can't wait. Here over on twinfinite.net, Watch Dogs Legion of the Dead is a standalone zombies game mode available on PC now. So there's like an alpha of a Watch Dogs Legion of the Dead, and you will be able to play multiplayer online to scavenge for survival resources and be extracted into safety while fighting against, let's see, who did they say you had to fight against? Albion soldiers, Clan Kelly members, as well as the undead. So that's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be standalone. I'm not sure the price. That's not been released yet, or even if it will be a price that might be free to play. Who knows? But that seems like an interesting way to breathe new life into a game that you've already made, and you spend the money to make the assets and build the world. Why not, give it a little spin? So can't hate on that. Might be good. Alright, and next over on gamesindustry.biz, Tencent is shutting down Call of Duty Online in China. Now, the most we have is deciding the announcement. Ahmad said that declining revenue and lack of renewal from Activision are responsible for the game's closure. So right now, the main option in China is going to be Call of Duty Mobile. So it's not enough information in this article to really parse what's happening, what's going on. But at the end of the day, with what they've given me, it just sounds like there's business that just has not been handled yet. So what can you do about that? But China and Call of Duty, I don't even know how big that scene is. I know there is a scene, but I don't know how integral it is. But who knows and who hardly cares. Next on the docket on ArsTechnica.com, deleted Nintendo floppy recovers 26 years later, full of Earthbound secrets. Basically, this floppy is supposed to have a bunch of information about Earthbound, aka Mother 2, and most of these secrets will be revealed. It should show up in YouTube's and your articles alike. So yeah, I imagine that it's going to be more about the works that eToy has done while making this game. And although Mother 2 is an interesting title, I would like to see more about Mother 3 and its development, to be honest with you, because Mother 3 is so impactful, so good. And this is my bias, of course, because I haven't played Mother 2. But if there was a good ROM hack of Mother 2 that I need to go find. I think I heard of it. I can't recall. But it's supposed to be a lot of quality of life changes that made the game better. So I might go back and check that out in order to, really experience that. And that would be nice. But yeah, the contents, for the most part, are all listed in the article below. Way too much to mention right now, but it is very interesting if you enjoy Earthbound. I do myself as well. So there you have it. And lastly on the docket, there's been an announced trailer for a game called Palworld. Palworld seems to be a third-person open world Pokemon clone of a game, except with third-person shooter mechanics, which is very interesting. And I'm intrigued by the gameplay choices and the genre choice, but I cannot get over this aesthetic that makes it look like a Pokemon clone. And the way Nintendo and Game Freak have a chokehold on the entire industry with Pokemon should let a lot of developers know that there's no way that you can get a piece of that pie for more than maybe 5 years. And then you just gotta know. You know what I mean? Like Bakugan, Yu-Gi-Oh, all these other, well, Yu-Gi-Oh is a different, let's not say you, but Bakugan, Digimon, all these other pretenders, Tim, Yokai Watch, these games cannot overshadow Pokemon ever. It never will. No matter how many bad Pokemon games come out, terrible animes, poor representation of the good manga, like it's not gonna happen, and they're just gonna have to accept that, move away from that. So when I look at this, all I can think of is Genshin Impact or Pokemon. Every other person I've spoken to about this, all they can think of is Genshin Impact or Pokemon. The only other thing that I could maybe draw a parallel to this game's design is like maybe Monster Hunter or something, and even then, like, you know what I mean, you find your own style, you know what I mean. And I know this cell shaded polygons and anime art style is way cheaper to make on a graphical level, but I find it hard to believe that you have to be bound to that style to be economically sound for your development. But anywho's, what do I know? Let's just move on and just let you know that I really appreciate y'all for stopping by. Go ahead and give it a like or a comment to let me know what you would like to see, some new things, some updates, and go ahead and subscribe so you can catch those things that you have recommended to me. If for those who have asked or are curious, I will be streaming more Knockout City, and for all the birthday wishes that I received, I do appreciate that and I thank you, and I'm glad that you all could be a part of it. Anywho's, y'all take care, and always remember the channel motto, alright? Intentions are the most important, actions ain't nothing but loud, and words don't mean a damn thing. Peace.
To think anyone would risk their life for this filthy, tainted waste of blood. This will just make it easier to kill both of you. Help! Save me and I'll help you find Bertram. I swear! Shut up, Jeanette.
God.
I warned you to stay away from Tongue. He's turned you against me. I always looked out for you, but you couldn't stand my success. You had to meddle, didn't you? I didn't want it to end like this, but you forced me. I wasn't sticking my fingers in anyone's pie, dear sister. Of course you weren't. Just like you weren't working with him. Is it any different than the way you treated Father? Father? Oh, Therese. You poor deluded dear. I treated Father exactly the way he deserved to be treated. And he treated you like a... You don't say a word about Bob. Your heart still belongs to Daddy after all these years, eh, sister? At least he loved me. You take that back, you bitch! You never gave me any credit for anything, Therese. I was the one calling the shots. Bertram was dancing on my leash. How does it feel to know that I beat you? Isn't it obvious? I'm about to rid the night of this deviant, backstabbing whore. Do you realize that despite her condition, she's still... fornicates with kind, no less. So despicable. So unclean. You're one to talk, dear sister. Or should I say Daddy's little girl? Do you want to know just how depraved the Baron of Santa Monica can be? Shut up, Jeanette. You'd love the world to think you're a saint. When you thought I was asleep, I used to hear Father come in at night.
Whoa.
Whisper how much he loved you in your ear before he... Don't finish that sentence or you're dead.
Whoa. Alright. Yeah, that'll fuck you up. That'll drive you crazy. What are these voice options? What the fuck, yo?
Don't you want to hear what happened? How she became the pillar of the community she is today? Shut up. Just shut up!
Yeah, shut that shit up.
That's right, Jeanette. No one wants to hear your lies. I was the good girl. You were the wicked one. And despite that, I've always covered up your mistakes. I've taken care of you. And this is how you repay me. Taken care of me. You've done nothing but keep me down. Blame me for every mistake. Did you expect me to let you rule my life until the end of time? No, sister. You've had it coming since our last sunrise. Is that right, dear? If it wasn't for me, you would have never survived this long. Remember? They tried to separate us, but I refused. I chose this life and brought you into it so that we could stay together. Obviously, you've forgotten. She's a control freak. People, things, emotions. If she can't control something, she gets rid of it. And you're a wild animal. You'll rub up against anything that'll take you in for the night. Then when you're stuffed and bored, you bite the hand that fed you.
Oh my God. Oh my. Hey, yo. Hold up. I mean, it's one thing to waste my time like this bitch did. But Teresa tried to get a nigga killed though, so.
Therese will never let you live. You've disappointed her. I used you, yes, but I didn't try to have you killed. Therese has no problem with killing, do you? Remember Father? Father loved me. I was a good girl. I always did what I was told. You always hated that he loved me. You disobeyed him. You brought men home when he wasn't there. You were an awful daughter to him.
Who do I ask? Clearly Therese gonna be very biased about it, so...
Father came home drunk one day and mistook me for Therese. Because I'd fallen asleep in her bed. Don't listen to her. She's lying.
Wait, no.
Therese walked in while he was there, and she saw me lying with him, and so she went to the closet and pulled out his hunting shotgun, loaded it with deer shot, and blew his mind out all over the silly clown wallpaper. That's a lie. Father killed himself because of Jeanette. She made him miserable. As I recall, he died with a smile on his face. As you shouldn't. I'm afraid, sister, I must write your ending in this family saga. And I want you to know I do so with great anguish and disappointment. I had such hopes that you'd change for the better with my guidance. But so, sweet sister, is this how it has to end? I admit I always knew this night might come. Well, any message you want me to give Father? An apology? A love letter?
Wow, bro. Bro, stop this dumb shit. Give me that damn gun. The fuck?
I should turn this on you next, but I won't. Without Jeanette's assistance. Tongue, you're no threat. I'll call off the feud if that will get you out of my city. Tongue's hiding out in an abandoned oil tank at the old gas station. I'll tell him that one condition of a truce is that he help you. Our business then is finally complete. What you witnessed here, not a word to anyone.
Bitch, you gonna believe me? Dude, you kidding me, bro? What does this picture even mean anymore? Sound like she can't choose between her hot girl summer and her career.